Week 17 already of the fantasy basketball season, and here's a few guards I looked at on the waiver wire this week. The first guy, Monte Green of the Chicago Bulls. So Green, he's been a good pickup over the last few days here. Added in 11% of fantasy leagues, and he qualifies at point guard, shooting guard, and small forward. So on the season here for Green, 7.2 points a game, 4.2 rebounds, 1 assist a game, and 53% from the field. So right here, the last couple weeks, the numbers have definitely gone up. 12.3 points a game, 4 rebounds, 1.3 assists, 1.4 steals, 1.1 blocks, and 61% from the field. So right here, his field goal percentage has been real good. The scoring isn't all that great at the 12.3, but he's getting big minutes now for the Chicago Bull team. And obviously with Lonzo Ball out and Dasamunu being up and down so far this year, Green's playing those 35 minutes a game. In the last few games here for Green, February 3rd at Toronto, 13 points, 6 rebounds, 2 assists, 3 steals, a block, 42% from the field. February 4th at Indiana, 16 points, 3 rebounds, 2 assists, a steal, 2 blocks, 70% from the field. And February 6th versus Philly, 17 points, 2 rebounds, an assist, a steal, 2 blocks, a 3, and 83% from the field. So right now, if you need some scoring, good field goal percentage, and a guy who's going to get a lot of minutes and on volume alone could have good stat lines, I think Green's a good add this week, and he's available in 63% of fantasy leagues. The next guard I look to get this week here is Dwayne Washington Jr. of the Indiana Pacers. So the Pacers, we saw the trade yesterday, Caris LeVert going from Indiana to Cleveland, which was a little bit surprising. After last season, they got LeVert in that 4-team trade with James Harden going to Brooklyn as the headliner. But anyway, now Dwayne Washington Jr., he's going to have a good opportunity here in Indiana. And I got a few Indiana Pacers as adds on the wire this week. So on the season here for Washington, 9.7 points a game, 2 rebounds, 2 assists, 1.7 threes a game, and 39% from the field. But now over the last few weeks where he's gotten more playing time, and now with LeVert traded, it opens up more minutes. 14.3 points a game, 2.8 rebounds, 2.8 assists, 2.6 threes a game, and 45% from the field. So Washington, he's available widely in 94% of fantasy leagues. And now with LeVert out of town, he's going to be a guy, in my opinion, that's easily going to get 25, 30 minutes a game. And we're going to see the Pacers trade more players as this deadline approaches here in a few days on February 10th on Thursday. So the last few games here for Washington, February 2nd versus Orlando, 5 points, a rebound, 3 assists, a 3, 28% from the field. February 4th versus the Bulls, 17 points, 7 rebounds, 4 assists, 3 threes, 50% from the field. And February 6th at the Cavs, 17 points, 2 boards, 2 assists, a 3, and 40% from the field. So they're going to throw him out there and see what he's got. And we saw even early in the season where he was filling in for guys who were on the safety and protocol list. Washington had some good games. So if you need 3-point shooting and pure scoring, I think Washington's a good add this week. And like I mentioned, with the trade and his availability, he's going to be a hot pickup, available in 94% of fantasy leagues. The next guard's Malik Beasley of the Minnesota Timberwolves. So Beasley, we've seen flashes from him throughout his career where he could go on runs scoring 20 or more points per game. And on the season here for Beasley, 12.3 points a game, 3 rebounds, 1.5 assists, 2.9 threes a game, and 37% from the field. So his numbers, no doubt about it, are way down from last season to this season, almost 7 points a game. But the last couple weeks here, he's getting it going once again. 13 a game, 3 rebounds, 1 assist, 2.7 threes, and 40% from the field. So Beasley right now, he's available in 67% of fantasy leagues. In the last few games for him, February 1st versus Denver, 12 points, 5 boards, an assist, 4 threes. February 3rd at Detroit, 18 points, a rebound, 2 assists, a steal, 4 threes, 66% from the field. And February 6th versus Detroit, 20 points, 9 rebounds, an assist, a steal, 5 threes, 46% from the field. So the only thing I don't like about Beasley, obviously, his field goal percentage ain't all that great. And his playing time's only 20, 25 minutes a game here, obviously, with this Minnesota Timberwolves team. And it wouldn't be surprising to me to see him getting traded within the next few days here before the NBA trade deadline. But right now, he's playing good basketball. He's scoring the basketball well. And if you need 3-point shooting, obviously, and scoring, I think Malik Beasley is a decent add this week. Next guard I'd look to get is Hamidou Diallo of the Detroit Pistons. So Diallo, he's a player I've been talking about on and off for most of the season. And we've seen stretches from him as well where he's had good ball games, Diallo, and then he just can't get things going. So right here on the season, 10.8 points a game, 4.8 rebounds, 1.2 assists, 1.2 steals a game, 49% from the field. But the last couple weeks here, playing time's gone up a little, and so with the stats, 11.3 points a game, 6 rebounds, 1.1 steals, and 44% from the field. So Diallo, we know he's not really much of a three-point shooter, but his field goal percentage is pretty efficient, and he's a good rebounder for a guard-forward combo. So February 3rd versus Minnesota, 9 points, 3 rebounds, a steal, 33% from the field. February 4th versus Boston, 21 points, 14 rebounds, a steal, a 3, 47% from the field. And February 6th at the Timberwolves, 11 points, 6 rebounds, 2 steals, and 45% from the field. So Diallo, he's playing about 28 minutes a game right now for this Piston team. But it wouldn't be surprising to me if he's traded at the deadline as well, or even a few other Piston players for time to open up for him one way or the other. So right now he's available in 82% of fantasy leagues. And if you need some scoring and rebounding, I think he's a decent ad this week. And the fifth and final guard I looked at on the wire this week's Monte Morris of the Denver Nuggets. So we know Jamal Murray, he's probably not going to be back this season unless he gets ahead of it with his rehab. So on the season here for Monte Morris, 12.8 points a game, 3 rebounds, 4.3 assists, 1.6 threes a game, and 47% from the field. But the last couple weeks here, his numbers have gone up just a bit, 14 points a game, 4 rebounds, 5 assists, 1.5 threes, and 50% from the field. So Morris, he's only available right now in 43% of leagues, so this might be the final week here to really mention him on this waiver wire and ad video, because if he gets going, he's going to be added in more leagues, and he won't be available really in any. So the last few games for Morris, February 2nd in Utah, 15 points, 3 rebounds, 3 assists, a block, a 3, 53% from the field. February 4th versus the Pelicans, 19 points, 4 assists, a block, 5 threes, 50% from the field. And February 6th versus the Nets, 12 points, 5 boards, 8 assists, 50% from the field. So right now, if you need some scoring, decent rebounding, and assisting, I think Monte Morris is a good ad. And like I mentioned, he's getting a lot of playing time at about 30 minutes a game, especially with no timetable for Jamal Murray to return, or if he's going to return at all this season. So that's a few guards I look to add here for Week 17 of the fantasy basketball season.